Hey everyone, I posted a short story on my Instagram a couple of weeks ago and it got a pretty good response. I think it helped out a lot of people, so I'm going to repost it here on YouTube. I'm going to read directly from my Instagram post, so I'm not going to be looking at the camera the whole time. On Friday, September 1st of this year, I was deadlifting and mid-rep, I felt a couple of pops in my lower back and a sharp jolt of pain. You can see the barbell temporarily pause on the second rep. I stood up and my back immediately started to lock up. I knew I tweaked something and my first thought was, fuck. Sorry about the language, but it's the truth. My coach, Austin Baraki, was standing there watching my set and he calmly said, "Is it your back?" And I said, while holding my breath, "Yeah, a couple of pops." He immediately said, "You know what to do. Start moving around, you'll be fine." And after a couple of minutes of moving around, he told me to perform some air deadlifts, which is just a deadlift without anything in your hands, an imaginary bar. And I'm thinking, bro, I can't even bend over right now. I did it anyway, and I started to realize that there was nothing seriously wrong with my back. It wasn't broken, I wasn't paralyzed, I was just experiencing a lot of pain. For the rest of the session, I did air deadlifts and then air squats, eventually with an empty barbell for both. The more I moved, the better it felt. Austin's reaction, or lack thereof, was very helpful in calming me down. He did not respond by saying, "Oh shit, that sucks, dude. Don't move, you're gonna make it worse. Go sit down." This has happened to me before, and my first thoughts are always, woe is me, why did this have to happen to me? There goes all of my progress. I need to go to the doctor and get an MRI. Man, this sucks. Later on that day, Austin said, "Your back is gonna be very tight in the morning." And he was correct. I hardly slept that night because laying down was making my back feel even worse. Trying to get out of bed the next morning felt like the hardest set of 5 that I've ever done. Just standing there was painful. But I knew that the sooner I started moving around, the sooner my back would feel a little bit better. So I immediately performed 10 Romanian deadlifts, bending over, placing my hands on the edge of the bed, and standing back up. Later on that day, I continued to move around, and I eventually performed sets of 5 reps on the deadlift with 95 pounds. It was still very uncomfortable. On Sunday, I performed deadlifts with 135 pounds, eventually up to 185 pounds for 5 reps. And I squatted with 135 pounds, wearing a belt for my squats and deadlifts. Now, on Monday, I injured my back on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. I squatted 495 in this video that you're watching with 0 back pain. I'm not kidding you, I'm not trying to be dramatic, it literally blew my mind. I deadlifted twice that week. I squatted 495 on Monday, and on Tuesday I was able to do block pulls with 465. On Friday, 1 week after the injury, I pulled a slow 455 pound deadlift off the floor. I pulled 525 pounds 2 weeks after the injury, and 535 pounds 3 weeks after the injury. This is progress that I never would have experienced a year or 2 years ago because I would have just taken the entire week off, laid around, and felt sorry for myself. So here are my tips for dealing with back injuries. Number 1, don't freak out. Don't feel sorry for yourself. Just take it all in stride. Number 2, do not avoid movement. When you need to bend over to pick up your shoes, don't drop to your knees to pick it up. Don't ask your spouse to put your socks on for you. Do it yourself. Move. If the goal is to get back under the barbell as soon as possible, do it now. Don't take a week off and sit on the couch. The longer you let the injury stick around, the longer it will stick around. I hear people say, "I injured my back last year," and they still experience chronic low back pain because they always talk about it. You've got to change your mindset, you've got to move on, and you've got to make it better. And number 3, take the whole process as a challenge. Put yourself to the test and see if you can overcome this obstacle quickly. When we tweak our backs in the gym, it's usually nothing serious. So don't say things like, "I broke my back, I think I fractured my spine, I slipped a disc," which doesn't actually happen, or "I tore a muscle in my lower back." Now, I am not making this video to diagnose your back pain, and I'm not suggesting you act recklessly and disregard any pain you're feeling, but I am suggesting that you remain as positive as possible, get back to moving around immediately, and don't feel sorry for yourself. And this is very important. I want you to Google Austin Baraki, Aches and Pains, and read the article. I'll include a link to that article down in the description area of this video. Now, lastly, this was not on my Instagram, but I'm assuming that some of you are going to want to point out the cause of why I hurt my back. And the first reason would be, Alan, you haven't been stretching or foam rolling lately. That's probably why you hurt your back. I don't think that's the reason, because I've hurt my back in the past. I've hurt my shoulder, I've hurt my neck, I've hurt my pec, and that was when I used to stretch and foam roll for 20 minutes twice a day. So I don't think that that was the reason I hurt my back. The next reason might be, Alan, you probably hurt your back because you're overtrained. I felt fine that day. I wasn't sore, I didn't feel tired, and I hurt my back pretty bad last year, and I wasn't following any real programming. I was just farting around the gym. I definitely was not overtrained, and I still hurt my back. So in closing, correct technique, intelligent programming, and focusing on what you're doing are all things that are going to help reduce the likelihood that you experience an injury while lifting weights. But nothing will 100% prevent a back injury. Sometimes it just happens. I hope that helps, guys. If you've recently experienced a back injury, pick your head up. Everything heals. You'll get better. Keep moving forward. Don't feel sorry for yourself. And always remember, tread on time.